So, hello, I'm about 31 minutes in. I'm back at the park. Yes, I'm back at the park of yesterday. So, today we're going to be talking about the power of critical thinking. Yes, the power of critical thinking. And I'm going to go and sit right on the chair that I sat yesterday. Again, that's the chair. That's going to be the thinking chair. So, yeah. I'm going to be talking today about the power of critical thinking. Like I said, yesterday we talked about the power of silence. And when we talked about the power of silence, since that yesterday I've been just thinking of what we talked about. And I remember saying a lot that silence helps us in thinking. It affords us the opportunity, the privilege, the ability to actually sit down and think. And since that yesterday, I've been thinking about thinking. Like, thinking about thinking. That's a catchy phrase. So I've been thinking about thinking, and I'm asking myself that what is thinking? Our thoughts. What does it even really mean to think? And I was able to look out for the definition of critical thinking, because I was looking at that there are different kinds of thinking. And I want us to focus on critical thinking today. And critical thinking is the ability or the process of evaluating, analyzing stuff, interpreting stuff, ideas, information, and coming to a conclusion. Logically looking at those things and coming to a conclusion. And I looked at it that we are always thinking. There's no time when our minds are blank. As human beings, we are continuously thinking. There's a thinking process going on in the background of our minds. In fact, I was looking at it, and it has been scientifically proven that human beings have thousands and thousands of thoughts running through our minds daily. Thousands of them. So when we're talking about critical thinking, I want us to kind of differentiate it from that kind of thinking where it's in the subconscious. We are thinking, we're not like intentionally making an effort to think, but we're just having those thoughts, at the background of our minds. So that is a kind of subconscious thinking, but critical thinking is a conscious effort that we actually take. So I want us to differentiate critical thinking from that subconscious general thinking. Another thing I want us to differentiate critical thinking from is emotional thinking. Because critical thinking is logical. That's one of the main things about critical thinking. It's logical. It's conscious. So the part of the brain that has to deal with critical thinking is the frontal cortex. I mean, I don't like going so academic on us, because this is just a general discussion. I want everybody to be able to contribute, but there are two different parts of the brain that controls thoughts. There's the frontal cortex and there's the limbic system. So the frontal cortex is the one that controls the conscious thinking and the logical thinking, while the limbic aspect is the one that controls the emotional thinking and like just kind of in the subconscious realm. So I want us to differentiate critical thinking from that subconscious thinking and that emotional one. Is logical thinking, is focused thinking, is intentional. And another thing I want us to differentiate critical thinking from is worrying. Thinking that has to do with worrying. Like where I come from, if you're worrying about something, they will say, stop thinking. It doesn't mean they're saying just be in a vacuum and don't think about anything and just let your mind be blank. No, they're saying stop worrying, really. That's when they say stop thinking. So like those thoughts that just come at you, you're worrying maybe about something, it keeps coming, like intrusive kind of thinking. I want us to also differentiate critical thinking from that. I'm not talking about worrying or thinking. Stop thinking, kind of worry, kind of. So that is the difference between those different kinds of thinking. And so we are just going to focus on the critical thinking today. And like we said from the definition, it involves analyzing. What does it actually involve? Involve analyzing, like we break things into different small parts, ideas, information, and thoughts into different small parts, and try to see, because when we break things into different small parts, it puts those things in a better perspective. Is that we cut them into pieces, into chewable, so to say, parts, and then it helps us to better analyze it. And also when we evaluate those things that we're thinking about, or information or ideas, we are able to compartmentalize, so to say, those thoughts, and we are able to like make them into a form that it's easier for us to understand. And when we evaluate things, we kind of look at them: are they real, are they not real, are they true, are they not true? Our thoughts, the information, the ideas that we have, how realistic are they, how relevant are they, how important are they? We evaluate, we weigh those things, we weigh them. How important are they, how realistic are they? And then we interpret all those ideas, because interpretation is also part of it. Look at it, join ideas together, connect the dots like one of my friends would say. We connect the dots and see, how does this thing relate to this thing, how does this idea relate to this idea, how do they connect? And after connecting the dots and all of that, we are able to make an informed decision about the things that we are thinking about. So these are some of the processes that we engage in while critically thinking about things. And I think there's a lot of power in critical thinking, because we are able to be objective. We are able to put away bias. We are able to focus on the issue at hand, because a lot of times emotions clog our thinking. So when we're thinking about something critically, we're able to make ourselves devoid of emotions, like put our emotions apart, put on our thinking cap, our logical caps, and try to actually see things the way they are. And there's so much power in this, because when we do this, we're able to, like I said, the advantage is that we're able to make informed decision, and we're also able to move forward in life and not clog ourselves with a lot of emotional things that prevent us from seeing the truth about things. Because when we're able to make informed decision, we are also able to I think just help ourselves. We're able to help ourselves, because I know that I can be very emotional about things. So when we are thinking critically, I think it helps us a lot in decision making, in cementing our ideas, in creative thinking, in moving forward, and it generally is very powerful. And since I've started this work, I've actually been thinking a lot, and it has really helped me in a lot of decisions that I'm making, and I still continue to make. So I just want you to join your voice with mine in the comment section and let me know, have you ever engaged or consciously thought about this topic? I mean, I know we have all engaged in critical thinking one way or the other, but have you consciously thought about how important it is and how it can help us or help you in your life, in your decision, and in things that you do? And if you have any opinion or any thoughts or any comments, I want you to leave it in the comment section below. And I'm going to continue on the walk, and let's see what we have here. And I'm going to see you when I'm done. I'm back. This is what we have. About 77 minutes. I'm going to stop that. One hour, 17 minutes. Yes, so of course, like yesterday, I didn't walk all the 1 hour, 17 minutes. I took like 10 minutes sitting down, as you saw, for the discussion again today. So today has been fun. We've talked about the power of critical thinking, and I hope you would engage the power of critical thinking in all your decision making and in problem solving, and take all these advantages and use it in our lives. So today is day 14. Yay! I don't like to focus on the days, but let's celebrate small wins, right? Because I don't know. I want to finish. I believe I'm going to finish by God's grace. So let's keep trudging. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.